Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I want to walk you through some games of RMP versus some melee cleaves. One of the most common questions I get asked nowadays, but like pretty much always, is how do you deal with being trained as a frost mage? And like, it's a confusing question because a lot of the times, like, I don't have a problem with that, right? Frost mages have so much slows. I'm always away from my enemy. I'm always, trying to get some cross EC and trying to, burst down other people. Kiting melee isn't really like a huge deal for me, and it's a lot about cross EC and a lot about just using your mobility at the right times, and I'm going to walk you through that in today's video. So let's jump into it. I'm playing RMP with Omne and Naj, and we're queuing into a TSG here with a Shaman. And a lot of these times, guys, they try to go me, but then they don't go me, because you guys will ask me, like, oh, well, don't use that video because they didn't go you. It's like, well, if I was a good target, they would have gone me, but if I don't make myself, presentable target, or there's too much offensive pressure, or I'm doing too much cross EC, then I'm not even an option, right? Anyway, so we start with a sap on the Shaman, and I think we want to either, we can go DK, we can go Shaman, we can go Warrior. It depends on who's in battle stance, cooldowns, trinkets, etc. So right here, we're starting on the DK, and I'm trying to get a sheep off of the sap, but the Shaman's just so far out of place. This is actually kind of a bad opener. I should have put myself in a position to either get the sheep off the sap or just do more damage into the DK, and instead I kind of did a position where neither I didn't get the sheep and I didn't do much damage to the DK, so not the greatest there. Warrior's on me, he stuns me, and guys, mages die during stuns, so if you're dying during stuns, that's normal. You have a trinket, you have ice blocks, you have teammates cooldowns to handle that. But outside of stuns, you have, temp, you have Nova, look, blink when he blade stormed, running away. So right here, this might sound like really silly, but I blink, I'm not looking at the warrior, I'm doing damage to the shaman, but I'm still subconsciously moving away from the warrior. I'm not just doing damage to the shaman, I'm not running at the shaman, I'm not running towards my priest, I'm running away from the warrior in a straight line. So I blinked away from the warrior, and I'm moving very, very far, so the warrior has a harder time to get to me if he wanted to. Now it looks like the warrior is trying to peel the rogue, which he does successfully with that fear. Counterspell goes out on the shaman. I'm slowing this DK to get him off my priest a little bit. DK is slowed. We have a smoke bomb on the DK. So something that helps a lot is a good rogue stun DRing the enemies as soon as they want to open. The DK just started to even start to hit me, and the DK stunned in a bomb, so now he's the one playing defensive. A lot of defense is offense. The best type of defense is good offense, especially when you're playing something like RMP. Get a full sheep onto the shaman, war banner comes down, but it's a little bit too far, and it looks like DK is just going to go down here if I can get any more CC, get the re-CC on the sheep, and the DK goes down. So we had a lot of offensive pressure. Anytime they even tried to maybe go me, we were going on them harder, or I had utility, I had blinks, I had slows, I was running away from them while hitting, kiting while doing damage as well. So this might not be the best game. I have a couple other games against melee cleaves as well from yesterday when I was playing some RMP, but it's the small things. It's running away, it's doing a good kind of cold and then kiting with it, it's trinketing when you need the trinket, not trinketing something dumb. It's doing all of these things properly over and over and over again. So here is a Thug Cleave. So TSG, Thug Cleave, and Warrior Demon Hunter are probably the three most popular things we're running into. Unfortunately, I did not fight a Warrior Demon Hunter on ladder yesterday, but I fought a TSG and a Thug Cleave, so I'm going to go over these games with you guys. But right away, AoE, the Hunter gets me out, and they want to go me, right? So I guess a lot that's keeping you alive is having an offensive plan, okay? So right away, you're taking a look at the trinkets. The Hunter is relentless, and he's human. We could definitely do a go or two onto him. The Priest is human, and he's trinket. Probably not going to be going Priest. Probably going Hunter or Rogue here. Keeping that offensive kill in mind and making them afraid is going to keep them off of just killing you. Rogue opens on me. Actually, I want to mention this pre-temp shield. My Priest gets blinded, right? And I already have my temp shield up before the cheap shot lands. I guess I'll rewind that once more. I did it a little too late. So the priest gets blinded right there, and boom, I pop my temp shield as he opens, so I don't actually have to trinket. So that's just being aware. I saw that the priest was CC'd. Of course, the rogue wants to open up on me. Why wouldn't he? Pre-temp shield, the opener. Right there. It was, very good because I basically got to hold my trinket or, hold a lot of cooldowns. Rogue doesn't even go me because he's like, okay, I'm not just going to damage an attempt shield, it's going to get healed back. So, Rogue just runs away. From here, we get a full kidney shot onto the priest. He human trinkets it, but still gets sheeped a little, unfortunately. Actually, he does get that death off, so that sheep is going to break. And, we're doing a go onto the rogue. So we stun the hunter, now we're stunning the rogue, priest we get a trinket from, and offensively, priest dusts out of that sheep, but offensively, we're doing a lot of stuff. And what I want you to keep in mind here, I still have Ebon Bolt. I still have, in 20 seconds or so, I'll have Comet Storm and Ice Nova. Rogue has no trinket for 25 seconds. That means if we want to do a big go on him right after Stun VR, but right before his trinket comes up, there's a slight window that we could kill the rogue in a bomb, and there's not much he could do about it. So I want to keep that in mind offensively, right? Because that's the thing that's going to keep us alive. Rogue's hitting me in the back line. Frostbite procs. Frostbite is a very awesome tool for kiting, guys. Whenever you're just kiting, Frostbite procs, you can take a couple steps and then sheep the guy. Take a couple steps, Frostbolt the guy, continue to slow him, cold him, and keep moving in the direction that you want to move into. I don't want to push into the hunter right now. Priest is on sheep DR for 7 more seconds. What I kind of want to do is set up this rogue for that kill like we were talking about in 8 seconds when the stun DR is off in a smoke bomb because he doesn't have trinket for 17. Right as we bomb him, he'll maybe have a trinket for a couple seconds after that. Get a resheep onto the rogue. I switch my focus briefly to the priest, switch it back to the rogue, get the quarter polymorph, and I want to do the poly so he doesn't get that feint off. I'm not sure if it works out that way or not. Frostbolt the rogue. He does get that feint right before we go. But look, the rogue has no trinket for 6 seconds. We have that 5-second kidney onto him. The hunter and the priest are pretty much too far to peel, and I can start casting the Ebon Bolt. With this Ebon Bolt here, Hunter could like grip to me and kick it. So what I'm going to do is actually blink into the smoke bomb so I can't get kicked or peeled from the hunter. Look, the hunter wanted to peel me, but since I'm in the bomb, I'm untargetable, of course, so this is going to allow me to actually get my burst off on these guys. So a lot of defense guys is playing offense. Look at this. Rogue dies in a bomb 100-0 in between his normal trinket and his human trinket in that little tiny 8-second window. Out of that, get some more CC on the priest, and the hunter goes down as well. So what do we learn from this game? We can pre-tempt certain things to hold more cooldowns just based on awareness. We learned that offense can really trump defense in games versus melee cleaves. If you're just running and running and running and let them beat on you, you're going to lose in mana, you're going to lose in dampening, you're going to lose the game. But if you kind of have an offensive plan to crumble them, then you can definitely get a kill because you're a frost mage. You're not going to be able to just hit you when they're under so much pressure because they either get to choose to run and live or they get to choose to try to hurt you as well. And here's one more game versus Hunter, Rogue, Disc Priest. This is definitely a common comp on ladder. These are just all my games from yesterday. I wish, like I said, I had a game versus Warrior, Demon Hunter, maybe Arsham, because that might be a little more difficult to kite. They might do a little more damage, but the principle is the same. Warrior, Demon Hunter, you're swapping based on who has trinket, who doesn't. You're setting up swaps on the healer. You're setting up offensive pressure. Right away here in this game, they open on me and I trinket and temp shield. Okay, in this game they definitely want to kill me as well. That barrier's down, I run inside the barrier. My priest is in a kidney shot. I could try to eat the trap, but this is an improved barrier, I believe, so I'm just going to sit in this barrier for this entire time. Trying to blink out since they're not really connecting, trying to get some CC onto the priest. So from this opener, it wasn't the greatest. We got freedom onto the rogue, pet sack onto the hunter, and priest human trinket there, I believe. My priest is in a full trap. Defensively, what I've used so far is trinket temp as soon as they open, and that's kind of what kept me alive for the time being. So I don't mind the trinket temp at all. We use barrier as well. Kind of getting them both a little low. But look at this, guys. I'm a frost mage. They're hitting me. They're running at me. I'm running away at the same time they're running at me, but I'm running quicker. And why am I doing that? Because they're slowed. They're slowed. So like a lot of the times people ask me like, how do you kite? Like, look, I have a blizzard down. I Kona cold them and I walk away. And I walk away because I move quicker than them because I'm a frost mage. When I'm stunned is when I'm in trouble, right? When I'm stunned is when I can die. When I'm not stunned is when I can kite, is when I can just walk away from them, when I can Kona cold, frost nova, blizzard, stuns, etc. But when I'm stunned, it's when my team needs to peel. So right here, we're looking at pain suppression, we're looking at ice block, we're looking at peels from the rogue, we're looking at trinkets, we're looking at something to survive each stun. Something, we can't just pop nothing or else I'm going to die 100-0. In this go, it happens to be the pain suppression. So he pain subs me during their go. That's kind of the end of it, right? I'm not going to die through pain suppression. We get a full kidney into the full sheep onto the priest, and the hunter is stunned. So I have that little cross you see. Now the rogue is trying to peel as best as he can during this go, and we're doing a lot of damage on the hunter. Comet Storm, Ice Nova, very basic go here. doing a little bit more damage, trying to juke the kick there. Do manage to juke the kick from the Hunter, get that resheep onto the Priest. Hunter uses his trinket, and that's his only trinket because he is playing adaptation. The Fear follows the Priest, getting a little bit more damage onto the Hunter. Big shatter combo coming out. Hunter getting very low with that Ebon Bolt, 2% there. He still manages to hang on. Blink CS that Priest in his Penance cast, but now he can cast those Shadow Mends. Rogue goes over, tries to kick him. Priest gets feared. Rogue gets feared, it just broke, and the Priest gets trapped. I get sheep shot. So once again, guys, this is a cooldown. This is going to be either my Ice Block, this is going to be my Rogue peeling, this is going to be some type of cooldown. Let's see what ends up happening here. I am forced into the Ice Block, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. We get to go, we get their cooldowns, we go, we get their cooldowns, they get our cooldowns. Don't be afraid to give them cooldowns where cooldowns are due. Right there, it would be greedy to just be like, alright, let's see if I can live without a block. You don't need to do that. During their go, if it's not peeled correctly, we can definitely afford to say, okay, that's our Ice Block. Okay, that's our Pain Sup. Now it's time for us to go again. What you can't do is just right now in this position be like, oh no, I'm gonna die. It's like, no, that was their go. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to switch around the pressure. It's your turn to now try to formulate a kill onto them. Well, before they can go again. It's a very, they go, we go, they go, we go type of a thing, especially in the Thug Cleave versus RMP matchup. Barrier comes down from the defense here, get a full sheep onto the Priest, just slowing them down. Rogue in that full kidney shot. Rogue can definitely go down here. He has that feint for one more second, but that's about it. The Fear follows, and the Rogue goes down in that full kidney shot 3 more seconds until the trinket did come back up. So whenever they went, guys, we used a defensive cooldown. When they weren't going, I was just kiting with basic cooldowns, but our goes, consist of a lot of pressure, getting a lot of offensive or defensive cooldowns from them, and whenever they went, they were getting Trinket Temp, Barrier, Pain Sup, and then Ice Block, and we just rotated through them. When I needed to use them, I did. Didn't use them when I didn't need to use them. I didn't use them outside of a setup. I didn't use Temp Shield when my healer wasn't CC'd. I didn't use Ice Block when they weren't doing a setup. I didn't blink for no reason. All of these things were thought through, calculated, and I wasn't just randomly playing. Guys, I hope this video helps you against Melee Cleaves as the season comes to a close in the next 2 or so weeks here. Good luck on your rating pushes. Thumbs the video up if you liked it, guys. Share it with your friends if you think it would help them. Thumbs it down if you didn't like it so I know to not do another video like this one again. And don't forget to subscribe. Talk to me in the comments below as well. Peace!